for a while, so I grew up in a church. So for a while, I was Christian. I was, like, very Christian. I was, like, one of the judgmental Christians, because that's what my grandparents were, and they told me one thing, and, yeah. Okay, I guess you can see that. Yeah, okay. So, then, a lot of things happened. Like, I found out who I was, and, when I was 14, my parents split up, so that was hard, and there we go. Oh, I'm on my knees now, so, and that was really heartbreaking. So, then I lived with my dad, even though for a while, and I liked it for a while. I was really happy over there, and then I just kind of didn't like it anymore, and I thought I was another thing, and we'll get to that in a minute. And I'm not saying a thing because I'm not trying to be offensive. I just don't want you guys to know what I am right now, because we're going to get to that in a minute. So I'm like kind of, yeah. And then my parents really started to pull away from me, and they like judged me for everything, and they said I was one thing, and it really hurt. And so I thought that my parents and my grandparents didn't love me, even though they were supposed to. And I thought that God wants you to love people and not judge anyone, and because He is our judge, not us. So I became agnostic. And then I started to really think about things and the world, and it kind of seemed impossible to me. Not only that, but because of all the things happening in my life. So I started thinking about my life, my sexuality, grandparents' beliefs, while the Bible said one thing and they were saying another thing, it seemed pretty impossible. Well, it just seemed impossible. So then I came up to the hard conclusion. I came up to what I thought was a conclusion, that there was no God, and that He didn't exist, and everything I had believed was a lie, and everything my parents taught me was a lie. So I did become agnostic. I became an atheist. And for a while I kept it to myself, because I knew what my grandparents were going to say about me. And then my little brother asked if I believed, and I told him no, because he's 6 years old. I'm not going to lie to him. And then he told me that we're supposed to fight the angels and the devils. So he told me that he was going to fight me. And I told him that just because I'm atheist doesn't mean I'm a bad person. And as soon as I said that, everyone in the house said, "Yes, you are." And that really hurt. That really made me sad. And it made me really think that I was a bad person and that I couldn't tell them anything, because everything I told them, they judged me about. I love my grandparents because God is their judge. I am not. But they're just really judgy people. And it's like, they act like you can tell them things. And then, in reality, you can't. So, but then I reported something that happened to me. And I got removed from my dad's, and then I lived with my mom, and I am very, very happy here. And I cannot be happier. And then I started going to church now. I started going to church. I started reading my devotional. And I go to church on every Wednesday. And then I try to go every Sunday, but some things come up sometimes. And now I'm back to being agnostic, but I'm leaning more towards yes. I'm leaning more towards yes. There are some things that I'm more lenient on, like the whole angels thing, but I do believe that things are possible. I'm not saying yes, but I'm not saying no either. So I'm just saying that it's possible, and it's looking more like yes. Now let's talk about my sexuality. When I was in 3rd grade, there was 30 students in my class. Half of them were boys, and half of them were girls. But I loved both. I had the same attraction that I did for boys that I did for girls. And it was both. It's I see a boy and I would think, oh, he's cute, and I'd want to date him. But then I would see a girl, and then I would say, if I were a boy, I would date her. Because I thought that you were supposed to like boys. I thought that if you liked girls, then you were a bad person, because nobody explained sexuality to me. I mean, I would ask about it when I was a child, so I think I kind of knew when I was a child, but whenever I would ask, my parents would say that it was disgusting and that was nasty, and who would be the mom, who would be the dad. So that I just thought, growing up, I thought that it was normal to like boys. I thought it was normal to like boys and not girls. So for a while, I kept my mouth shut. I didn't know what sexuality was. I thought that there was just straight. It was the norm for people to stay in the closet. And when I was in 5th grade, it was still happening, but stronger, so my hormones were going absolutely insane. So I looked it up, and it was talking about being bisexual. So I was this is wrong. I thought it was wrong, because in church they teach you, they taught me that people who weren't straight would go to hell. So I thought that my mom would be mad at me if I told her that I was bi. I didn't tell anyone until I was say 13. I was 13 when I finally told my mom. And she told me that there is a 50% chance that I will marry a girl, and there's a 50% chance that I will marry a boy. But that she would love me either way. And that really helped. So then slowly but surely, I came out to my grandparents. they were fine with it because there was still a chance that I would marry a guy. So they were fine with it. But then, when I was probably about like 15, I was getting my heart broken a lot by guys. So I thought that I would just stick to girls for a while. And then after dating like 3 girls, boys just became less and less attractive to me. And I only liked, say, like 1 or 2. So I thought that I was a lesbian. And I thought I was a lesbian for quite some time. And then when I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, boys got more and more attractive to me. But I liked girls the same that I did. And I had my first boyfriend in a while. And let's call him Dallas. Let's call him Dallas. And I had my first boyfriend, my online boyfriend. And he was a real creep. And he was, 2 days later, he was my fiance. And we were engaged for literally 8 hours. It was pretty bad. And then I got my first boyfriend in high school. And everything was going good. And I broke up with him. I'm not going to say why, because there are a lot of personal reasons. There was like a 10% shady reason. There is a shady reason, which is, it was like 10% shady, and it was like 99% personal. So. And to answer your question, no, I did not cheat on him, because I can't stand people who cheat. But I did have another boyfriend for like 2 days, and he ended up to be pretty toxic. So I'm not with him anymore. So right now I'm a very single lady. If you like it, put a ring on it. I'm just kidding. Not for a while. I'm probably gonna try to get a girlfriend, maybe. I don't know. So, and my ethnicities. I found out that I'm Irish. I'm Canadian French. And I'm Spaniard. And a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, there you have it. That is why I was just trying to tell you guys that it doesn't matter who you are. And when I say stay body positive came from my whole ordeal with insecurities, my whole sexuality thing. Don't just stay body positive, just stay positive. Just stay positive, okay? Not just body positive. Stay sexuality positive. Stay belief positive. Just don't be ashamed to be who you are. Just love yourself. And hopefully, I will learn to do the same. I love you guys. I'll see you all in the next hunt. Stay positive. Kate Winchester out. I'll solo bye-bye. God bless you all.